Good evening, everyone. My name is Aisha. So today I would like to talk about global governance and how it helps world, how it helps the world solve one major global challenge in the 21st century, which is climate change. To begin with, global governance simply means countries and international organizations working together to solve problems that affect the whole world. Some problems are too large for one country to solve alone. So, as issues such as climate change, pandemic, terrorism, poverty, and international conflicts affect many nations at the same time. Because of this, countries cooperate through international institutions, agreements, and partnerships to find solutions. Global governance does not mean there is one world government. Instead, it means nations agree to follow common rules, policies, and goals for the good of humanity. One of the biggest global challenge today is climate change. Climate change refers to a long-term change in weather patterns caused mainly by human activities such as deforestation, industrial pollution, and burning of fossils of fossil fuels like oil, coal, and gas. Over the years, the Earth temperature has continued to rise, leading to serious environmental problems. We now experience stronger floods, prolonged droughts, wildfires, rising sea levels, and unpredictable rainfall patterns. In many African countries, including Uganda, climate changes has affected agriculture because farmers can no longer predict rainy seasons properly. Some communities face food shortages due to droughts, while others experience floods that destroy homes, roads, and crops. Climate changes is called a global challenge because it affects every country regardless of its size or level of development. Even countries that produce fewer greenhouse gases still suffer from the same consequences. This is why international cooperation is very important. One, one important institution involves involved in addressing climate change is the United Nations. The United Nations bring countries together to discuss global problems and create solutions. Through United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, countries meet regularly to discuss how to reduce pollution and protect the environment. One important agreement formed under the UN one important agreement formed under the UN is the Paris Agreement of 2015. In this agreement, countries promise to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and work towards limiting global warming. Countries also agree to support one another, especially developing nations that struggle with the effects of climate change. Another important organization is World Health Organization, commonly known as WHO. Although WHO mainly focuses on climate change also affects human health. Rising temperatures include diseases such as malaria, heat-related illness, and waterborne diseases. WHO works with governments to improve health system and prepare communities for climate-related health problems. The World Trade Organization is also another organization that can step in. You can also call it WTO, also contributes indirectly. International trade policies can encourage countries to adopt environmentally friendly production methods. For example, countries can trade renewable energy technologies such as solar panels, wind turbines more easily. This helps nations reduce dependence on fossil fuels and move towards cleaner energy sources. Another organization, regional organization, is African. Another organization is regional organizations. It also play a major role. The African nation encourages member states to cooperate on environmental protection and sustainable development. East African countries have also worked together on projects related to water conservation, forest protection, and climate adaptations. Such regional cooperation help neighboring countries address their shared environmental challenges more effectively. Global cooperation has also produced some positive results. Many countries are now investing in renewable energy like solar and wind power. International organizations provide financial support and technical knowledge to developing countries. Climate conferences such as COP meetings allow world leaders to review progress and strengthen commitment towards environmental protection. However, there are still challenges. Some countries fail to meet their climate promises, while others prioritize economic growth over environmental protection. Poorer nations also lack enough resources to adapt to climate changes. Despite these challenges, global governance remains important because it creates a dialogue, cooperation, and collective responsibility among nations. So in conclusion, I would say global governance helps the world work together to solve major challenges such as climate changes. Through organizations like the United Nations, WHO, WTO, and regional bodies, countries cooperate by creating agreements, sharing knowledge, providing financial support, and promoting sustainable development. Climate change cannot be solved by one nation alone. It requires unity, cooperation, and commitment from all countries. Therefore, strengthening global governance is essential for protecting both present and future generations. That's all I had to say. Have a lovely night. Bye.